Good day, I am Cadet Hogeta, a second class student here in Manuel Silverga University Foundation. I was assigned to report the L1.4 about the voyage planning. So the topic that was assigned to me was ship reporting system. So before I start, I want you to know that our topic are more focused on the Singaporean Strait. And we all know that Singaporean Strait is a very busy area. So napakahalaga ng ship reporting system dito. So you can see to our PowerPoint presentations, that is our learning objective. So as our objective to this presentation, we will be able to demonstrate the proper use of ship reporting system in land voyage. Matatakal din natin dito yung iba't ibang regulations na dapat natin gawin when we are entering the Singaporean Strait. No, actually, kaya dapat natin siyang gamitin sa iba't ibang voyage natin, but our topic is more on Singaporean Strait. So we will start at IMO Regulation 8.85120. So ito yung guidelines for vessel traffic services. Dito nakapaloob yung mga BTS authorities, information to be exchanged, yung mga kailangang informations, at saka yung coordination of vessel movements within BTS areas. So ito yung mga kailangang information like mga incidents, mga dangerous goods, harmful substances, and or marine pollutants. This IMO resolution was adopted on 20 session on November 27, 1997. The next PowerPoint presentation was IMO Resolution A.91722. Ito yung guidelines for the onboard operational use of shipborne automatic identification system, which is the AAS. So dito nakapaloob yung tamang paggamit ng AAS, yung carriage and display of information, operational procedures, integration with other navigational equipments. So dito sa IMO Resolution A.917, it was made to assist collision avoidance decision between ships. So it was adopted on November 29, 2001, which is ito yung IMO Standard Marine Communication Phrases. Then let's move to the IMO Resolution A.110629, which is a guideline for the onboard operational use of shipborne automatic identification systems and the enhanced functionality of the long-range identification and tracking or LRIT system. So dito sa pangatlong resolution natin, it was a revised guideline on December 2, 2015. Dito pumapasok yung mga static and dynamic data, mga enhancement of ship reporting system, and dito natin na-address yung modern technology to improve communication and information exchange. Then, we have this IMO Resolution A.105327, which is adopted November 30, 2011. So it is a general principles for ship reporting systems and ship reporting requirements, including guidelines for reporting incidents involving dangerous goods, harmful substances, and or marine pollutants. So ito yung mga general principles for ship reporting system, report of accidents, and reports of maritime security incidents. So dito pong pasok yung mga surveys like initial survey, periodical survey, renewal survey, intermediate survey, annual survey, inspection survey, and additional survey. So it helped us to be aware dun sa tatahakin nating daan. So kumbaga it will guide us para rin mas madali yung pag-navigate natin. And the IMO Resolution A.85120. It is the guidelines on the use of shipborne automatic identification systems or AAS. So dito naman pumapasok yung operational use of shipborne AIS. Then we have these national and local regulations. Specific requirements for ship reporting system dahil may kanya-kanya tayong requirements. We have, dito pumapasok yung mga busy ports, congested waterways, and sensitive environmental areas. And last, the the flag state requirements. It was issued regulations and guidelines that ships flying their flags must adhere to. So let's move now to our part 2, which is the Singapore Strait. It is one of the busiest and most important waterways in the world. So reporting system is the TSSR or Traffic Separation Scheme Reporting System. Napakalaga ng ship reporting system dito. Kasi as you can see naman, di ba, sobrang busy nung nasa picture. Alam mo yun, yung may mga traffic separation scheme na dapat talaga sinusunod. Isa to sa mahalagang port sa mundo dahil dito ginaganap yung mga transactions. And then, we have vessel reporting requirements. Doon na pumapasok yung mga static or dynamic data ng barko when we are reporting. For example, yung mga yan is name, type, call sign, flag, port of registry, length, beam, draft, destination, ETA, and reporting system. So dito sa nakita ko example, since naghahanap ako ng Singaporean Strait, wala po ako makita sa internet, sorry to say, but ang nakita ko po is yung Netherlands regulatory. Makikita naman po natin na meron po diyang mga letters, functions, and information required para bagang naka-proper na yung pagkakahiwa-hiwalay ng data. And Singaporean Strait, we have reporting points that Tarempa, the Selat Jurong, and Pedra Branca. Regarding naman sa communication natin with VTS, meron tayong westbound traffic and eastbound traffic sa Singaporean Strait. Ito ay binubuo ng westbound traffic na ang nilalaman ay Channel 9 and Channel 14. Then, sa eastbound naman is Channel 74 and Channel 77. So, di ba kapag naman nagko-communicate tayo sa VTS, meron tayong general channel, something like Channel 16. Well, sa Singapore Strait, meron tayong corresponding channel para sa westbound traffic and eastbound traffic. Now, let's move to navigational compliance. Kanina, may binanggit ako mga regulatory, mga IMO resolutions na dapat nating i-comply, which is very important. Why? Ito yung mga para ma-prevent natin yung collisions and ensure smooth traffic flow. So dito sa navigational compliance, kailangan alam natin yung mga separation zones, traffic lanes, and other navigational requirements. So when we comply, mas magkakaroon tayo ng smooth navigation at alam mo yun, para mas ma-ensure yung safety ng ating barko dahil alam naman natin na Singapore Strait is very busy port, congested waterways, etc. As a navigational watchkeeping naman, dahil nga ito ay high-density traffic area, itong Singaporean Strait, kailangan natin ng proper navigational watch para mas ma-ensure natin yung safety ng ating barko. Lalo na halimbawa kapag may mga adverse weather, kaya natin agad i-report. So, kumbaga, magkakaroon tayo ng mga on time by providing accurate and timely information about the nature of emergency. So, mahalaga din siya sa ating emergency situation, yung navigational watchkeeping. Pagdating naman sa weather and navigational information, kailangan natin ng accurate and timely report. Kasi for example, we encounter adverse weather which is, alam naman natin, unfavorable, harmful, and opposed dun sa takbo ng vessel natin. And bakit kailangan natin ng cooperation with VTS? For safe navigation. And sino naman ang magiging benefactor or sino magbe-benefits kapag nagawa natin ng maayos yung ship reporting system? Siyempre tayo, navigators, masters, and ship operators. So, thank you for watching. I am Cadet Hogeta, second class student at College of Maritime Education, MSCUF. Thank you and goodbye.